channel. My name is Kalandra and I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to be a Black introvert, because for some reason, I don't know why, but society likes to make it as to we have to act a certain way because of whatever race that we are, when it's very common for anybody. It's not really talked about within the Black community, so I'm about to get into that. So if this relates to you, and if you like this discussion, then hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And I also have plenty of talks on my channel for those who can relate. So let's get into it. Now I'm gonna talk about why I consider myself an introvert, because one, I tried having a lot of friends and I tried having relationships with people, especially growing up, from middle school to high school, even elementary school. And I just dealt with a lot of like fake people, like people who, stab me in the back, try to steal from me, or just weren't really my friends, weren't as genuine as they say they were. And it just made me not want to deal with people at all. Like, it just made me not want to, have a lot of people into my life. And, since I've been more to myself, I had started to attract more trustworthy people to my life. So I only like to have a select few people into my circle, because I just don't really trust people, and I just feel like I'm always being judged for how I am. And I accept myself for who I am, so I'm not going to waste my energy on people who don't accept me for who I am. All right, so let me just talk about why I feel like this is something to talk about, because I feel like in America, no matter what color you are, especially the Black woman or man, it's just hard to be an introvert, because no matter what field that you're trying to go into as an adult or whatever, you have to make connections. You have to know people who know people, and you have to network. And it's pretty hard for people like me, because it's not easy for me to come out of my shell and just start a conversation and throw myself out there to people when I'm very to myself. I would consider myself, in Kendrick Lamar's words, an antisocial extrovert, because even though I do like to spend a lot of time at home, even though I do like to spend a lot of time to myself, I am pretty social, and I like to be around the people that I love or whatever. And I like to go out. Like, I like, going out around wherever I'm at. I'm in San Diego right now, so I like to go out and explore. I like to travel, and I'm going to be traveling really soon and see different things and meet new people. But at the same time, I just can't be around people for so long, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully that makes sense, and that's kind of how I am. But there are people who are very introverted and don't like to be bothered with anything going on around here, or anybody. And there are people who are extroverted, and I think I'm kind of in the middle, but kind of more on the introverted side, if that makes sense. So yeah, why I think it's hard for a Black introvert in America is, let me just talk about working a 9-to-5. I just feel like a lot of jobs try to make you out to be a character, or make you out to be something you're not, just to represent their brand, or be the best employee. And I think you have to be extra social and kind of be the manager's puppet to make it up in whatever job that you are. That's kind of how I see it, but I mean, it could be different for other people. Most jobs that I've worked at, the manager has always, and most of my managers have been white ladies or white men. I have worked for Black people before, and that can be the same thing with Black people, and I can get into that too. But pretty much they try to make you out to be this character, like, okay, I see you're more on the monotone side, I see you're more quiet, but I'm gonna need you to be bubbly, I'm gonna need you to smile more, I'm gonna need you to speak louder, I'm gonna need you to do all these things. And I feel like working a job, it just strips you from who you are in general, and that could be for a whole nother video. Especially the way you talk, the way you act, the way you dress. It's just a lot. But let me just talk about how I am as an introvert. It does make sense because like when a person is walking into your store, you want to seem welcoming and friendly and like you're ready to help the customer. I completely get that. But the fact that a lot of these places literally want me to completely change myself, and I worked at a job where they really wanted me to be something completely different, is completely unacceptable to me, and I just don't think it's necessary.
What I'm saying is get the job done. If your customers are pleased with your service and you're being friendly and helpful, then it should be nothing to worry about.
I think like if you're monotone, then maybe come out your shell just a little bit, but not like completely make yourself an extroverted, loud person if that's not what you are. And that's kind of why I don't like working for people. And I feel like, their way of being bubbly and our way of being bubbly and outgoing are two different things. Like working a job, you kind of have to change your mannerisms, change the way you talk, change, like stop with the slang. Like we're just different, like how we express ourselves. And I think like working any job, you kind of have to turn your, like they said, white person's way of white person's voice or whatever. And I'm not saying, no, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that just because you're proper you talk white, like that's stupid, you know what I'm saying? But if you're somebody who is a certain way, don't change yourself completely for somebody or something, because I don't think it's worth it. So another thing I really don't like is I have a resting bitch face, okay? Like I'm just whatever. Like my face is my face. So why do people always tell me that I look mean or that I don't look welcoming or whatever? Like it's just my face. I get it because like some people look a certain way out in public, but we don't really know how we look. We don't know how people see ourselves. So I just think people should give me a chance based on how I am rather than how I look on my face, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean that I have an attitude problem. It doesn't mean that I don't want to talk. I mean, maybe sometimes, but it doesn't mean that I'm not, willing to make a new friend. It doesn't mean that, I'm not willing to have a conversation. It's just my face. Now, introverts, how many times have you gotten this question? I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet? Why are you so? I mean, I'm just not talking to you. That doesn't mean I'm quiet. Like some people, especially me, I'm a person who doesn't who doesn't speak unless spoken to. My mom always told me, let people come to you. And honestly, when you let people come to you with whatever it is, opportunities or a friendship, relationship, or whatever, when you just let people come to you, those are more genuine connections rather than you going out looking for something. I mean, yes, sometimes you can initiate conversations because it goes both ways. Like sometimes you have to go out your shell. But if you're somebody who doesn't like really speak to somebody first or don't text first or whatever, sometimes people dead ass don't want to be bothered with you, and that's kind of how I see it. Or I don't like and that's another thing. I just don't like rejection. It hurts my feelings sometimes, and I mean that's something I gotta work on because we all have to face it, and I faced it before. But I just don't really speak unless spoken to. It doesn't mean I'm quiet, and I'm like very observational. Like I just observe people. I don't like I like to listen. I like to know what's going on. I like to be aware of my surroundings and who I'm around and everything. So that's kind of what it means when I'm just not speaking or I'm just not that comfortable to be out of my shell. Another thing that they assume for us introverts out there is that we're slow. Um, Especially the Black community, they like to say that about people, and it's just very hurtful. And that's what people with that ass like say about me back in school. And I just think it's hurtful because, for one, you don't know if somebody has a mental issue, and some people are, how can I say this, just not, I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I mean. Like, some people actually have a mental issue with comprehending things or learning things or whatever the case. And I just think it's mean to just assume that somebody is slow just because they don't act a certain way that you act, or they don't like to be put on the spot and they fumble under pressure, they stutter, and they speak very low and they speak a certain way. I just think that's not a good thing to assume about somebody, and that's not a great thing to say. And just so y'all know, like, for those who've been calling me that, like, first of all, no shade, but I comprehend things better than some of y'all do. Or, I actually know how to operate a motor vehicle. I actually graduated high school. I actually know how to read. Okay, like, don't try to make it seem like I'm just a dummy or something like that. Just because I may move not as fast as other people, or I may not comprehend things at the same speed as other people, and that goes for everybody. Like, we're all different and we all do things at different speed levels. So don't ever like assume that somebody is slow, or don't say that about somebody, because that's just very hurtful and mean. Another misconception about a lot of introverts is that just because we are more on the quiet side that we lack personality, and that's not even the case. At least for me, I'm like a little puzzle piece. As you keep getting to know me and going deeper, you're gonna just find out more surprises, and I think it's more exciting that way, rather than I just put everything out on the table, then you just have a whole judgment of me without even giving me a chance. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it. And plus, like, I just don't feel comfortable being super vulnerable with somebody I just don't know, while you could be like sneak dissing me behind my back, low-key hating on me, or low-key judging me. Like, it just doesn't make me feel comfortable. And also, not to put zodiac signs into it, but my sign, we're just a sign that we're very more reserved, and we just, like I said, I don't really trust people like that off the bat. So if you gain my trust, then that's when you get to see my different sides. And just because somebody is introverted and more quiet does not necessarily mean that they're a real quiet person. Like, if I'm comfortable around you, I'm real talkative, and I can be real loud. I can show my sides. It just depends on what you bring out of me. Like, maybe if we have a couple drinks, that's my lit side. I'm a different person. Or if I'm in a static mood, or if you piss me off, then you're gonna really see a side that you don't like and a side that you don't recognize. But that doesn't mean that my personality is just like one thing. That's all I'm saying about that. Last thing I would like to say is that, it's just comfortable being by myself. It's just more comfortable because I could trust myself. I can do things for myself. Like, I don't have to wait on other people to do certain things. If I want to go shopping, I can do that. If I want to go get my nails done, I can do that. If I want to go make some moves, I can go do that. I don't have to sit there and wait for somebody to be by my side for every little thing that I do. And it doesn't make you weird to go out in public and do things by yourself. Like, as an adult, I don't sit there and call such and such just to do little simple things like errands. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just like to be by myself. Like, I like to be at my house, chilling. I like to put my thoughts together. I like to create things. I like to make videos. Like, I like to spend time by myself because that's when I'm most comfortable. Like, I don't want somebody in my face 24/7, and being around a bunch of people after a while really does drain me, and I'll be ready to go. So that's pretty much it on how it feels being a Black introvert. I just wish like that stereotype of us always being loud and proud and ratchet. I mean, yes, we can be that way, but not everybody is like that in the Black community. Like, it's okay that there are people who are unique, that there are people who are very talented, who are very artistic, very different, like to listen to different music. Like, hip hop music is not the only type of music out there that sounds good. Like, some of us like dubstep, some of us like R&B, some of us like alternative music, some of us like lo-fi. Like, I like lo-fi a lot. So everybody is different, and it's nothing wrong with being an introvert. It's nothing wrong with being to yourself. If that's how you want to be, then that's how you want to be. I just feel like society should just give us a chance. Like, just because you're an introvert doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to succeed in this world, or whatever the case. And it just makes it hard to grow a YouTube channel because, like, there's some people who can just bring that energy right to the camera, who just know what to say, who just are perfect on camera, while some people like me, it just takes a while to get comfortable knowing what to say, how to look, how to present myself. And I just feel like people are probably turned off by my personality because I don't fake a persona, and I don't act extra rah-rah on camera or try to do the most to gain subscribers or anything. I'm just being myself. And yeah, so just be yourselves. That's all I pretty much have to say. Yeah, so if you like this video, just subscribe, like, comment, or whatever, and I will see you in my next one. Peace.